start with an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll take some questions after that.
Yeah, obviously, that's a talented team that, I think you can look at their stats, look at their wins and losses, and not really understand the full picture. I think they're talented when they play well. They're really good. And unfortunately tonight we weren't able to play with them in that first quarter. I'm disappointed in our team's response to the way that game started. But they're obviously Liv McGill's a handful and can score and open up the floor for her teammates. It starts there with them, but they had a lot of folks make some open shots tonight and did what they needed to do on the defensive end.
Coach, just with Grace and her performance today, I know it's a tough loss, but maybe a silver lining in just how her and Dow were both able to still produce despite the circumstances.
Yeah, Grace has been really consistent for us all year, and she's been able to find production. We had a harder time finding her some looks early, and we were able to figure that out as the game went on. And proud of her for staying in there and staying aggressive. That's when she's at her best. Shannon, this is the most she's played, I'm sure, without me looking at the stats. I'm pretty sure this is the most she's played since she's been back from her injury. So, I know she had some good moments there. Hopefully she grew a little bit offensively throughout that game. Hopefully we can, find some momentum in how she played and continue to move forward.
Second quarter was a lot better. What were some of the adjustments you guys made?
Yeah, honestly, for us, we played even second, third, and fourth quarter. And, I thought we didn't make a lot of major adjustments. It was our game plan and just asking our players to execute our game plan, and we played even. Obviously, for us, we did not we got beat on the boards pretty bad. We know that. We weren't disciplined enough. We understand we're not going to have the biggest size, so we've got to be a little bit more disciplined, in particular on the defensive boards. I thought we had some people make some hustle plays, but overall, you just got to maintain your game plan and keep your focus for 40 minutes.
How do you plan on bouncing back from this one before Ole Miss on Thursday?
Well, I think, in this league, you better figure it out. You're going to have some really tough stretches, and we're back to our normal cadence. This was our third game in the week, so this has been a pretty tough stretch for us. So we'll be back on our normal cadence where we'll have an off day on Monday. We'll get after them pretty good on Tuesday. So that, start with film and really try to correct some of the things that are correctable from this game. And, I get it. We're not gonna have a game plan that holds Liv McGill to 0. That's nobody has that game plan. But I thought we could have done a better job in some other areas that may have made a difference.
Coach, Lauren Meadows, GatorbadeMedia.com. Talk about just Coach Summitt's influence on you and what this day means when you talk about Alzheimer's awareness and just the lasting impact that she's made on you. Quite a few of you that are still in the coaching profession.
Yeah. I think, when we wear these shirts, and you've seen all the stuff on the, in particular, SEC Network. We're talking about her foundation and what she started and the purpose of it, obviously for some research and really to support caregivers. I know that was a big point for her as she started her foundation. I think it's also, for me, it's also a way that we keep her memory alive, we keep her spirit alive, and someone that did so much for women's basketball. Every year we're just another year removed from her and from that history, and so this gives us an opportunity to reflect back on what she meant to not just basketball but to sports. And she she's one of the big reasons that we have some of the things we have today. I mean, she is. And, you know, she did some things early on. She made decisions to promote basketball when she didn't have to. And it helped start creating some parity, I think, in our game. And I think that's one of the things now. There are a lot of really good basketball teams across the country now. And I just think that someone like Pat really had a hand in that. And I think she'd be excited about the quality of basketball across the nation.
Any other questions? All right, one with that. Thank you guys.